Well, everybody knows me as the host of Discover Marshalltown. I'm Denny Gravenbauer, and we're up here at the Courthouse Square on this May 7th, and getting ready for a very important walk a mile in her shoes. And many of our local celebrities in our community are going to be taking part in this, and they're going to be walking around a mile. There'll be a mile course here in the community. And what this is for is that this is actually a national program, and Marshalltown has been very fortunate to host this for the last 4 years. And it involves dealing with, it's a fundraiser for people that with sexual assaults, domestic violence, and so on. So it's a very good program. It's a fun program that we do. This year has been added some motorcycles for a motorcycle show. So it's going to be very interesting just to see these guys walking around in her shoes for a mile around our community. So if we're able to get a few bites and clips of this, it'll be fun to show it. So just sit back and relax, and guys, be thankful that we don't have to walk around in these kind of shoes.
My name is Bobby Dennis, and I work at Assault Care Center here in Marshalltown, Iowa. At Access, we work with victims of sexual assault and domestic violence. My main position at Access is just trying to get more men involved with sexual assault prevention programming. One of the great ways that we've been able to do this in Marshalltown has been with the giant support and the leadership of the Farce Foundation, putting on Walk a Mile in her shoes every year. So it ends up being a good opportunity for the community to get just more men involved with sexual assault prevention efforts. When we see people walking around in the heels, I think for a lot of people it's going to end up being a light, fun event. But really the important thing is this a representation of kind of the gender inequity in our society, and really a representation of a physical representation of men walking with women in the walk against violence against women, so in the walk against domestic violence and sexual assault. So that's really the important thing. And when we're really looking at what we want the participants to take out of it, is really, we like to think of this day as a statement, like a statement that for the rest of the year we will walk the walk when it comes to preventing violence against women in our community, especially when we know that sexual assault and domestic violence is a really real issue for Marshalltown area, and it can only be solved by community members and men in the community getting more involved with sexual assault prevention and domestic violence prevention.
Welcome back, and one of our guests that's going to be in the competition of making the trip around our community in that 1 mile walk is Elliot. And Elliot, welcome to our Discover Marshalltown program. And why don't it's very interesting visiting with you off camera, because the high school has got this program in the high school. Why don't you explain to our viewers a little bit about what goes on at the high school?
So we have a program at the high school called Mentors in Violence Prevention, and we take 25 minutes every Thursday to talk to our freshmen about problems of gender violence, sexual assault, mental, physical, and emotional abuse, bullying, gay bashing. We take time to, go through scenarios with them, have conversations with them about very hard topics, and we try to educate them so that we can have better members of our community throughout the rest of their lives.
Now, these are pretty delicate things to talk about. How is it received through the kids? How, are they very open to talk about this and want to learn more?
It depends on the day and the scenario, but generally we can have a very good conversation with these young men or young women, depending on which class you're in. We can have a pretty good conversation about them with some pretty tricky topics, and they're a lot more open than you would think they were.
So how many people do this or take place in this program?
So I think there are around 45 to 60 mentors. Shaky because it's gone up and down all year, but we try to educate about 200 freshman students.
I see. And what grade are you in?
I'm a senior this year.
You're a senior, so you'll be going on, and will you be taking this program with you and that message with you in your endeavor after high school?
Yes, I've already enlisted in the college that I'm going to, working with several members of the gender violence prevention community on campus.
Well, Elliot, good luck in walking out there. And I've seen your shoes and your heels are too high.
Oh, thank you.
One of our guests here this afternoon, and as we get set for this walk a mile in our shoes. Well, we're sitting at 5:45 in 15 minutes. We'll be taking off with our walk a mile. And so, Nemo, do you want them to start putting their shoes on now? This is like the Kentucky Derby. We'll ask all walkers to get your shoes and be prepared to go in about 15 minutes. We've already lost Chief Tupper. I don't know where he is. Oh, there he is. There he is. All right, welcome you back to Discover Marshalltown. I'm with Marshalltown Police Chief Mike Tupper. And Mike, once again this year, we're going to see you walk around the community in high heel shoes.
Yeah, hopefully I can survive again this year.
That's got to be tough, isn't it? You know,
it is tough.
You big burly guys walking around and doing that, but it's for a very, very good cause.
It is for a good cause, and it's a great opportunity to bring awareness to a serious problem, a problem that impacts communities all over the country. And I'm just excited to be here and help bring some attention to the issue and hopefully help the cause.
You know, it's hard to say sexual assault, but there's a lot of people in the community that face that and have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you and your staff deal with this every day.
Yeah, unfortunately we do. It's become a serious issue in all communities. And what's great about events like this, though, Denny, is it brings people out to talk about the issue in the open. And hopefully that will make some victims feel more comfortable about coming forward, because too often these crimes go unreported because people are afraid to come forward. We want to help them be able to come forward and report these crimes.
You know, we talked to Elliot, who's has got a program that they've got out at the high school, and you know, I guess it seems maybe strange to me that we would have to discuss this with high schoolers. But there again, it starts somewhere, and maybe this is the best way to stop it from progressing.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing to be talking to young kids about this, and hopefully we can break the cycle of violence, because a lot of times sexual assault really impacts families and it almost runs in the family.
Sure.
And if we can educate young people early, perhaps we can break some of those cycles and solve some of these problems.
Now, I guess I got to ask you this. Do you train for this during the year to walk around in high heel shoes, or is this just something that you put them on and you go?
I wish I did train, because I'm going to be hurting about halfway through. It's going to be a long walk.
Well, good luck with the walk.
Why don't you walk halfway and I'll walk halfway?
Okay, you walk the first half, and if I can catch up with you, I will.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for being with us.
I'm D.L. Dean, president for Full Tilt Riders Motorcycle Club, as well as the chairman for Forest Foundation and president for the Phi Beta Sigma Rho Eta Sigma chapter, alumni chapter in Marshalltown. This event, being the Walk a Mile in Shoes, this is our 4th year doing it. I've been a part of it every year. We love to bring it here to symbolize just men standing up to take a stand against sexualized violence of any kind, whether it's domestic, whatever. Just to say that we are here in community and we do not want that here. And anything from children to women as well are invited to be here. So generally we have anywhere from about 30 participants to about 60. We're still trying to reach our goal. My goal is still to have 100 men walking here in Marshalltown. We may not make it today, but you know, we're going to continue to move forward, and each year we get closer to that. We have more and more supporters, so we have people that will donate and will participate but won't be here. So we encourage all kinds to do that, especially with us giving donations to access for the 5 communities around us. So. Oh, as far as I'm concerned, it's no better importance. It influences all different parts of our community, infested, and it brings it down. Things that bring my heart to being here is kids that have experienced sexualized violence, whether they viewed it in any kind of way, that impacts them throughout the nation. And it brings, now we're starting to reap some of that benefit, if you want to say, which is not a benefit. People that we don't see good relationships between men and women, or whatever you have. And that's some of the stemming, result of seeing sexualized violence at a young age. So that's one of the reasons why I think this is very important for us to be able to have an open dialogue, and especially for kids to feel that they can come and talk to anyone and don't feel any shame in it, and think that they can make it important by saying, hey, I experienced this, what does that mean? So that's one of the reasons we want to do this, is so that we can give a voice to those kids that have had sexualized violence in their life. Not necessarily to them, could have been, but around them, that they may not know how to talk about it or don't know who to talk to.
30 years ago, my younger sister was in an abusive relationship. And she was the classic abused wife. She blamed herself. She believed it when he said, "I'm sorry." And I just remember that sense when I found out of helplessness, because there was nothing out there for her. And so I walked for her.
A lot of times I get asked, why should I walk? Why as a guy should I walk? And what I always say to them is that because if you know somebody personally that has been bullied, and you've maybe met someone who has, or maybe it's your sister, or maybe it's your friend, or maybe it's your cousin, and for you to put on a pair of high heel shoes and walk a mile is actually the manliest thing you can do. And for you to do that, that's all the reason in the world you need. That's all the reason in the world you need. A high heel is nothing.
If I look at the crowds since the first walk, and I look at the participation of men and the people that actually come out to cheer on people, I think this is an event that has really taken hold. You know, we've done a great job of making it more fun every year, and that's what it needs to be, because it has to be festive. I mean, you're doing something incredibly silly. I mean, you got 600 guys walking in heels. I mean, what could be more ridiculous? But you're not just being silly, you're being silly for a purpose, something that matters deeply to the community.
The walk is a mile long, starting at Yonge and Dundas Square.
Come on, look, make it look easy.
I personally love wearing heels, but was really impressed with how graceful and confident some of the men looked at the event.
Work those shoes.
1 in 4 women in their lifetime will be affected by domestic violence. So everybody knows someone who is.
You know, we want to show the women in this town that, you know what, we care about every one of them, no matter what your situation is. And the thing about it is, domestic violence is from the poorest people to the richest people there are in the country.
Now, these are a pair of shoes that Demo is going to be wearing, and as you can see, these are a shoe with no heel, and it stands up. It's on, kind of balances on your toes, and you basically would have to wear these tiptoeing through Marshalltown.
That's what I will be doing if I have to wear them.
And one of the stipulations that he put on this was, and there's a motorcycle dude, he wants to wear a pair too. But one of the stipulations he's been putting on this is if he can raise enough money, that he will do it. So I know that we're taped on here, so we're going to be out. We're going to be knocking on doors. We're going to be trying to get people to get him fitted in these shoes. And you think you can do it?
Well, what you mean? Do I think I can
You
walk
think
in
you
them?
can do it? That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I will have to.
You'll have
That's
to.
That's not an option. If we raise it, I have to do it.
I could walk with them like this, but I don't think that's.
I
the way
tried that. That doesn't even work either way.
Now I know I asked you last year, where do you come up with these shoes? I mean, I got a 14 double D, and there's no way you're going to get a pair of shoes that I could fit.
Yes, I can. Actually, we
That's
might
what
have.
that's what I'm afraid of.
That's
That's what I'm afraid of.
Because that's a 16D, and we've had somebody wearing.
These are a 16D?
No, these are a 14D.
I see. Okay.
But now they do have 16Ds. If you remember, our sheriff actually has a 14-foot. He wore a size 16 when he did it a couple of years ago. So there are shoes out there available.
One size fits all, I guess, folks. So this is the type of shoe you're going to be seeing here this afternoon.
All right, we're going to take bets on who's going to quit walking first.
Oh, quit. I'm not quitting. I may be hurting. All right, ready?
Oh, look at those shoes.
Photo ops are over with. Thanks to Sarah from TR and Greg Ford from XPV for being up here this afternoon. Maybe Henry Anson will go with you.
Thank you.